It wasn't curiosity that led to the search for final space, the last point in the universe. Some believe it's a great power, others that its discovery would undo time. What I believe is that it's a giant, glowing marshmallow castle. Atop its fluffy, gelatinous tower, there sits an elemental, beautiful, glowing, and he is shaped like a snowy egret, and his name is P-Win Jr. It would have been time. What is the Gary doing?
Lord Commander, there is a temporal worm located.
No! No! Fire everything! Rip that ship from space!
The cookies are done.
Gary! Don't forget, Gary. Don't forget. You saved Mooncake. You saved the universe. You're safe. Quinn.
On this platform of YouTube, there is not a lot of chances like how Olin Rogers had. He was the guy that made the short you guys just watched, known as Final Space.
The crazy thing is I'm in Germany. I'm in Germany right now because the show that I've been working on for the past year is going international. And I had to premiere it in Germany at this festival. That never crossed my mind that even as a remote possibility that that Final Space could even go international. Man. I swear, I'm gonna get emotional on this thing. It's been like 5 years. 5 years. I've been working on season 3 of Final Space. And I've been doing it at home. You know, I think that's one of the cool things about animation is you're able to kind of work from home, which I never would have thought was possible, especially during this year, and it's looking great, man. It's looking so good. I didn't want to be the one to tell you this. I wish I could have hid behind like just a blind social media post. I just wrote a nice message and then, you know, not have to do this. But I felt like I owed you guys the FaceTime, you know, and I felt like this was worth the video. And by now you probably know it's not good news. So let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Okay? There's gonna be no more Final Space. There's no season 4. For now, at least, it's over. And, you know, in Hollywood, there's only so many times you can survive a merger. And you know, as luck would have it, Final Space survived 1, but we couldn't survive number 2, okay? We couldn't survive the second merger.
I think the success of Olin Rogers as well as Final Space is basically just the underdog story of underdog stories, in my opinion. Not often we get to see big name players actually able to produce something as high quality as this show did. And I think it is a giant underdog story that will never be matched. Let's go back a little bit. Olin Rogers got his start on the internet through his main channel with the same name, doing mostly sketch comedy and stories. But Olin wanted to make something that people will never forget.
Sit how these cool kids sit these days. How's that look? This quest started back in 2006. When I constructed what might be the absolute worst cartoon man has ever made. It was called Gary Space, and it was terrible. I stopped after 3 episodes. Years passed. Legends became myth, and for 2,500 years, Gary Space lay dormant on my YouTube channel. After the 3 episodes of Gary Space, I realized if I wanted to really take this seriously, I had to create a legitimate proof of concept. And then in 2015, like a thrift store Hollywood tycoon, I decided to reboot Gary Space into what is now Final Space. I said that pretty good, right? Right? How about you answer me?
You can tell that Olin really wanted this thing to be taken off. This was his baby. Why else would he revamp this harmless animated cartoon? As you guys probably already know, animation on YouTube is a very unforgiving place to be in. Tubers like Jane Animation and The Odd Ones Out are 2 key examples that I bring up. And YouTube basically banking on very short videos, especially at that time, and you can imagine what was going through his head when he decided to cancel after 3 episodes. But then 2015 hit, and he thought it was the perfect time to pitch the idea, and he pitched it to Newform.
And what they were doing something really cool. They were investing in online creators' ideas and kind of giving them a little bit of money to kind of go off and make a proof of concept.
The idea was to create a serialized, comedic, epic sci-fi adventure with a plethora of heart. But all these things that I watched throughout my life inspired this idea. Movies like Interstellar, Moon, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Sunshine, Battlestar Galactica. This was going to be something special. Something really special. The challenge of this was getting an idea across in 6 minutes, because that's all the money we had to tell the story. So I remember Matt Hawk telling me, we shouldn't start this from the beginning. We should start this from the middle.
Starting in the middle was a big success. Basically starting off at the lowest point in a giant epic definitely grabbed a lot of people's attention. A pilot was made and published in 2015 to massive success and was on YouTube's trending page for a little bit. But the biggest thing that happened to Olin was the next day when he checked his email.
I woke up the day the proof of concept got posted on YouTube for Final Space, and I checked my email, okay? And I had gotten emails from Lionsgate, Conoco, Conan O'Brien's company, and Adult Swim. I mean, this was surreal, because I'm a nobody. Why would they even want to email me? Who am I? I'm just a 13-year-old kid with force powers. But sure enough, it was real.
Olin made it through the first phase of trying to get anything in there and was actually called up to the Warner Bros. Lot. Conoco was the way to go at that moment. He really loved Olin Rogers and the way he was telling stories on his YouTube channel, as well as the Final Space pilot. It just worked.
I walked into Conoco's offices with Matt and Melissa from Newform, and there they were. David Kissinger and Larry Sullivan,
Or Larry David, however you want to arrange the words or names.
Hi, I'm David Kissinger.
Hi, I'm Larry.
The dream in my job is that something cool just drops in your lap.
I'm a lap guru, and that never happens.
I remember during the conversation in their office, me and David Kissinger locked eyes, and I could tell what he was thinking. He was thinking
The total package. He's wildly inventive, plays a mean paintball, he is excellent at swordplay, he is the consummate comedy performer, he's just an all-around talent.
okay.
We knew we had to pair this young gun with a semi-automatic comedy machine.
David Sachs was the final piece of the puzzle. We knew with him we had a killer team.
Hi, I'm David, and I remember watching the proof of concept and thinking, just wow, I want to meet.
I knew David Sachs was the guy for me from the get-go. He just listened. He didn't even say anything. He just listened.
I didn't even know what to say, so I just gazed into his soul.
We sat there 10 hours just staring at each other.
It was incredibly creepy, but strangely beautiful.
Sure enough,
We hit it off.
we spent the next 2 weeks, me and Mr. Sachs, figuring out this idea, brainstorming, coming up with ideas, figuring out the story of what the TV show was going to be like.
When they found the right idea, they went and started pitching it to multiple different companies. One of them being 3 words, TBS.
Hearing the pitch for Final Space was like gathering around a fire and hearing a great storyteller just weave a tale, and everybody was just completely mesmerized.
This is genius. This is like Jurassic Park, the professor talking to himself on the TV. I think every single room we went into, you could definitely tell this was something different.
My first big pitch, okay? Nervous doesn't even describe the feeling that I had, okay? I was sweating bullets. I was sweating in places that sweat should not even come out, okay? But I remember after the pitch, I'd done this whole thing. I was breathing heavy. I was sweating. And I remember they just immediately got up and they walked out of the room. I was like, guys, I tried. And sure enough, they poked their head immediately back in, like 30 seconds back in, and they said, we won it. And I look at everybody, Kodako, new forms, like, is this some kind of joke? Is this a sick joke? Because I was like, that is really sick. They're like, no. They don't joke about that. And I thought, oh, okay, well, we got one!
Every single person who heard the pitch wanted to buy it. They needed it. It was comedy gold.
With the green light now off, they start crafting this universe of Final Space. A good note to look at is that Olin Rogers never actually forgot about his YouTube channel and never forgot about the people that have followed him. And he still tried to post out all the stories, the stuff that got him popular in the first place, and people still watched, people still tuned into it.
I'm afraid, Gary, there is no foreseeable outcome where you survive. Good morning, Gary. Day 1818.
How about freaking no?
You are not the captain. You are a prisoner aboard this ship.
As soon as the crap hit the interstellar fan, I became the captain. For real.
You're oblivious to this thing, aren't you?
What?
That.
Mooncake?
What's a mooncake?
This!
That is a planet killer.
Something big is happening, and I'm not waiting while Command sits around twiddling their wieners.
Why would they be twiddling their wieners? Why? As long as I draw breath and you provide me with copious amounts of adventure, I will be there for you. We're a team now.
Gary, if the breach in time-space cannot be reversed in 36 hours, the Earth will be consumed.
You were right about everything.
I know. It's a blessing and my curse. It's dangerous. It's life-threatening. We're probably gonna die. Or you got my back, little buddy. Chucky! I didn't really sell that very well, did I? Crap! Oh, there's so many stairs!
Quit talking, you idiot!
I don't know why there's so many stairs!
Hugh, look, it's Carl. Carl, how's life?
Carl is dead, Gary.
Classic Carl.
Final Space released 2 episodes starting on February 26, 2017 to massive success. They loved the adventures of Gary and Quinn and Avocado. I remember telling people about this show and they seemed a little skeptical about the show, created by a content creator on YouTube, which is kind of unfair in my eyes, given my history as a content creator. But I do see what most people mean. But that didn't hurt Olin at all, as he still uploaded at least once a month on this channel as he was working on the seasons of Final Space, and would even upload the trailers to his channel himself. But then the beginning of the end started to show.
You run! For a second there, I thought it was...
I'm back!
No!
Have I really sunk this low?
You sure have.
Unless the balance is restored, all will be lost. The walls holding them back are crumbling.
You cannot hold me. I'm coming.
Maldito! Good to see you.
Sup?
Yeah, what's up? So, hey, so...
Sup?
Yeah, sup. Okay.
Sup?
Yeah, sup.
Sup?
All right, sup.
Sup?
Can we stop this?
Sup?
Sup.
Sup?
This logo right here was strange to many. Adult Swim over TBS? What exactly happened? Well, I tried to find some information on the topic, but unfortunately I couldn't find anything. So if you guys know about anything, please leave a comment down below and tell me. But there was a merger happening at TBS. It got absorbed into Adult Swim, to my understanding. And they kept Final Space from going down a road of possibly never being shown to the light of day again, which in Hollywood there's only so many times that you can survive a merger, as said by Olin Rogers. Season 2 saw a pretty good response throughout the entire fanbase of Final Space at this point. Everyone loved how the season expanded on the story of Gary, and can't wait to see what happens in Season 3, hopefully dropping in 2020.
Yeah, so the beginning of this year, a tornado destroyed the soda parlor. F3. Direct hit. And thankfully nobody, no employee was hurt or anything like that. It hit pretty late at night. 6 years, 7 years, I've had that open.
The solar parlor destroying got Olin in a massive sad funk at the start of the year. He made that building so he can go and hang out with the other people that have watched his channel. But unfortunately, it got hit with a massive tornado.
I remember there was a moment I walked into the couches and I just sat there and took a picture. Yeah, I took a picture of myself. I think I took it because I knew it was going to be the last time I was going to be in there. I didn't really notice it in the moment. And it took a lot of people to comment in order for me to see it, but they noticed just how sad I looked. It takes a lot to get to that point for me, And I think it just kind of started to bleed into the eyes. I think in that moment it was me at the near bottom of this well of life. And I think I was just holding on. That was me just holding on by a pinky. You look up and you can see the way out. You can see what you have to do, but you're so tired and you're so banged up, you're so bruised that you wonder if there's any fight left in you, My family has been having a lot of severe health issues that are ongoing, and sucks. Because I can't do anything about it. You just have to sit on the Starscream died. Yeah. Neighbor's dog killed her. That one's hard to convert. I don't think I can convert that one. I think that one's just gonna suck. I guess it's, pretty dumb to think about a cat when the world's falling apart, but it's my cat. It's a pretty awesome cat, too. And, yeah. So I'm just left with a little box of ashes of my little buddy on a mantle. That's all I have left.
Not everyone can relate to all the topics that Olin is going through, but you can still feel the pain and the hardship that he had to go through in order to just live throughout 2020, and especially working at home for Final Space, it was definitely a hard time to say the least. But then at last, we finally got the Season 3 trailer uploaded to his YouTube channel, and it being one of the last videos that he posted up on that channel until 2021.
You will lose, Carrie.
Run now, while you still have time!
We can't keep leaving people behind! We can't!
You should have never brought me back.
We're not getting out. I'm sorry.
We are alone, Carrie.
Darker. Leave the light. I'm waiting there.
The stars will fall dark because of you. You will be the death of everything.
I've heard the cries of this galaxy. They yearn for a savior.
It's back to back. For life.
It's beautiful.
You're right, Hugh.
Season 3 dropped as the Empire Strikes Back of the series and left a lot of people really wanting to see a proper conclusion. But this is where things get a little bit hazy, as I don't exactly know the whole situation when it comes to all the different types of mergers that TBS had to go through. Just after Season 3 wrapped up, we got an unfortunate message from Olin Rogers, the creator of Final Space.
They tried, man. They tried to keep it going. They fought for it. They tried to manifest it. They tried to manifest that Season 4. But it just didn't, it didn't happen. The last thing that I heard was that they were trying to find a way to do kind of like an hour-long special, but to not hold my breath. Look, I know a lot of you are going to be sad. Heck, even some of you may even be happy it's not continuing. For better or worse, I'm so unbelievably humbled that you all would even take the chance to watch the show, you know? I remember when I was like 14 years old and I was making short films with my dad's like camcorder, and I didn't have anybody to watch anything of mine. You know, all I had was my brother, and I would beg my brother to come in and like watch the new thing that I made. And millions of people have watched Final Space all over the world. That just blows my mind. It blows my mind. I never would have thought that Final Space would have went worldwide. I was always like, oh, it's just gonna be aired in the States. But no, it found an audience all over the world. Probably even more so than the United States, you know? Like, it's one of those things that I always I'm so amazed by. The show was about dealing with loss. It was about loneliness. It was about love. It was about finding that family. And for all of its faults, like my terrible voice acting, I tried to get better. I tried. And you know, just the bad luck. It just, sometimes you just get bad luck of going through 2 mergers, a pandemic, juggling between multiple networks. I mean, we made 3 seasons of a show. There are better shows that get canceled for way less. And we had 3 seasons.
Olin Rogers was one of those people that humbles himself more often than not. And in Hollywood, where there was a bunch of loudmouths all over the place, Olin Rogers was the key exception of being true to himself even in the hardest of times. Final Space was his baby, it was his pride and joy, and to see it not finish in the way he wanted to was hurting not only to him, but the millions of people that watched the show. But he got 3 very good seasons, and he even said even if he has the chance to finish up the story, he will finish up the story. He will be right back with Gary, Quinn, Avocado, Lil Cardo, and just finish what he has started. This was a legacy of a YouTuber who had a dream, shot for the stars, and ended up succeeding in more ways than not.
Back in the day, there was this art teacher at this college. Hated the student. And everything that this guy did, every single freaking thing that he did, every project, she would give him an F. Okay? An F. Fail him. Why? Because he did things a certain way. He didn't do things the way the teacher wanted him to do it. He did it his way. The struggling student was actually getting ready to drop out of this class, just quit. But then he decided to give somebody a call. And this somebody said, "There is no right way to do art. And if anybody tells you otherwise, screw them." That's my mom.
Avocado!
Thank you guys so very much for watching this video. This video was a little bit different from my normal content, but if you want to go and find him, he will be down below, so you guys can go and check him out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic night, and as always, keep gaming.